My name is Gerald Quick. I'm associated with Covenant Church in Omaha, Nebraska. And I'm on the church's finance committee. So we are responsible for any contracts or any kind of financial things that have to do with the business of the church. And about it was in June of 2019, we received notification from Verizon. And Verizon is the owner of cell tower on our property. We've had a lease with for the last 20 years. Well, we got a renewal notice. Our lease was up in October of 21. And we got this notification from Verizon in June of 2019 that they wanted to begin the negotiations, begin the process of renewing the contract. So we corresponded back and forth, and what was really disappointing to us was that they wanted to reduce our monthly rent payments. They wanted to mess around with the terms of the contract, and all which were not in our benefit, but all benefited them. I have fairly extensive experience in the utility industry, and when I looked at the lease and so on and so forth, I knew that it was going to be a difficult road to renew this lease that had any kind of a benefit for us. After all, their property, their cell towers on our property, and they were trying to dictate to us what to do with our property. So, long story short, I volunteered with the group to handle the cell tower lease and work through the details of it. And the deeper I got into it, the more I came to understand that I didn't know that much about the cell phone industry. It is a utility, but it's different than the utilities that I'm familiar with. And so that's when I started investigating, looking at a consultant, a representative for us to work with Verizon in renewing this lease. I did the due diligence and went through and looked at a lot of different, quite a few out there, and settled on vertical consultants because some of the testimonials that I received, looking at the services they provide, talking to the representatives, everything taken into a total, we decided to enter into a contract with Vertical to do the negotiations for us with Verizon. So it was a long trek. We had many negotiations back and forth, and with Vertical's recommendations and counsel, we stuck to our guns, and it came out very positive for us. So we now have a new lease, and very satisfactory terms for us, and we're on our way for another 20 years with Verizon. So I would just recommend that it benefits you more than it benefits them. The tower resides on their property, and it should be their decision how they want to negotiate that lease. The lease should be in favor for them, not necessarily for the cell tower company. They proposed a substantial decrease in rent, and they also proposed a lowering of the annual escalator fee that would be applied to the rent every year. And that was completely turned around. We had very favorable monthly rents, and the escalator and all the terms were very, very positive for us. Well, we certainly would, and that's based on the fact that in our dealings with Vertical, they were very honest with us and very open, and their counsel was very important to us achieving a successful contract. And again, the thinking process was if you have a broken arm, you don't try to fix it yourself. You go to a doctor. Well, this is a similar situation. We're not experts in the cell phone industry. Verticals is an expert, and so we went with them to deal with our contract negotiations, and we're very satisfied.